The biblical year, seed time, harvest, winter, and Jesus' fig tree teaching. Peace to the remnant. Today I'm speaking what the Holy Bible says about the biblical year. The beginning, the middle, the end, and the resting period. And everything I'm about to say is anchored in Genesis 8:22. Genesis 8:22 says, while the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night shall not cease. This is not poetry. This is the first calendar in the Bible. This is the structure of the biblical year. Let's walk through it. Seed time and harvest. That is the working year. Cold and heat. That is the resting year versus the growing year. Summer and winter. That is fruit season versus dormant season. Day and night. That is activity and rest. Everything in the Bible follows this pattern. Now let's connect this to Moses. In Exodus 12:2, God tells Moses the beginning of the year. The year begins when the barley reaches Aviv. In modern terms, that happens around March or April. That is seed time. Then in Exodus 23:16, God calls the feast of Ingathering, the end of the year. Ingathering happens around September or October. That is harvest. So the biblical working year runs from Aviv to Ingathering, from March or April to September or October. Now here's the part most people never see. What about the other months? What about November, December, January, February, and early March? Genesis 8:22 already told you that is winter, that is cold, that is the resting season of the land. Nothing grows, nothing is harvested. The fig tree is bare. The barley is dormant. The wheat is dormant. The vines are resting. The land is still. And Jesus acknowledges this. In Matthew 24:20, Jesus says, pray that your flight be not in the winter. Why? Because winter is the resting season, the month when the land sleeps. Then Jesus gives the other half of the cycle. In Matthew 24:32, he says, when the fig tree puts forth leaves, you know that summer is near. Fig leaves appear in March or April, the same time barley reaches Aviv. That is the beginning of the working year. Summer fruits comes in during May, June, July, and August, the middle of the working year. The final figs and the final harvest come in during September and October, the end of the working year. And from November to early March, the land rests, the resting year, the biblical winter. So Genesis 8:22 gives the structure. Moses gives the beginning and the end. Jesus confirms the cycle with the fig tree and with winter. And the land reveals the timing. Here's the entire biblical year in one line. Aviv to ingathering, seed time and harvest. Ingathering to Aviv, winter and rest. This is the biblical year. This is the covenant year. This is the year Genesis 8:22 established. This is the year Moses taught. This is the year Jesus confirmed. And this is the year the land still reveals. I'm Augustus, speaking what is written.